on Facebook on why I like to do business with older people. I'm going to say 50 and up. 50 and up, why I love doing business with old people. They just get it. That old school values of my word is my word, especially when you're dealing with things sensitive like entertainment and government. My word is my word. What I say I'm going to do, I'm going to do. And I find that a lot of folks below 50, they just spat out things. They say things, they overpromise, underdeliver. They say what they fixin', finna, and want to do. And that's from a Judea song. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what you're fixing, finna, or want to do. I want to hear what you're doing, what you can put in place. An idea is only as good as the work that you will put into it. So a lot of young people have great ideas, but to put it together, you're blaming everybody else why you aren't where you want to be. And old people have lived enough life. They've had enough time where they're at, and many of them get content. And, you know, the older you get, the more things you acquire. So when you see an old man in a nice car, whether it be a Cadillac or an Aston Martin, you know, it's because he's lived longer than you to acquire those things. But I love doing business with them because they don't come in, you know, 98, I would say, % of the time saying, hey, could you hook me up? There's no hookup with older people. If anything, they look at you to say, I will hire you and I will even still mentor you in a way in business because there's maybe something you can give me and I can give you, and I can call on you if I'm putting money or putting you in a position to do what you say you want to do. I understand why some older people get frustrated with young people because I'm still considered, I think, in the young category, under 40 still. And people just, you know, they get frustrated because they hear all these dreamers, and it's great to have a dream, but you need a plan with that dream, and you need to put that dream into action, and that will equal your goal. Older people also understand, because they've lived enough life to know that they need a team. They're not just going to do it because they're smart. They're not going to just do it because they're fit. They're not just going to do it because they're good looking and their hair can be long, short, whatnot, and they can, you know, do what they want to do at this age. No, older people understand why they've had failed relationships and why they've had great relationships. It's just that wisdom. So I tell everyone, get yourself somebody older who you can bounce ideas off of so they can tell you if you're crazy. I know in my teens and 20s, I had crazy ideas, and I still ran with some of those ideas because I saw it. I'm not talking about those ideas. I'm talking about the ideas that, you know, you're 33 and you say you're going to be the president of the United States and you don't even live on your own. You have a roommate. You don't even have a college degree. You don't have a business, not to even speak of a successful business, to say why you should be the president of anything. You should be the president of your life and get that together. I like working with old people too because they have enough life experience to know that it's not going to last forever and they can humble themselves. So when a stable genius who was born on June 14th, 1981, comes and says, hey, we should have radio be TV. They say, well, how do we do it? Now, if you've ever listened to Diversified Game, my show on that, which is a podcast and a YouTube that we love if you subscribe and share to your friends, because you can't be broke listening to it, you will know that I've been kicked out of and laughed at for, my crazy ideas of radio should be TV. I've been laughed at of we should have texting during TV. Oh, we could never do that. And then I tell them Africa has been doing it, and this was 15 years ago, people, pre-World Cup. So I like doing business with old people who get it and want to work with that technology. They do what they say. So many young people are liars, liars, liars. I'm not talking about fibbing. I'm talking about straight up lying, saying you made $1 million when, it was good for you to make 100,000 at 22. saying you made, 2 million when it was good that you made 10,000, in 2 months. There's no shame in that. But I just love doing business with old people because they don't have to put on airs, and especially for me. I don't care what your car looks like unless you're going to give me the keys and say, hey, Kellen, take care of my Bentley while I'm in Rwanda. Like I have told one of the OGs, if you check out Diversified Game and see who was going to Rwanda, that, and we were so happy to connect them. And I got a video on it. I'm not even going to put out just yet. But they're not liars. And for those old people who are liars, they've crafted their skill to the point where they're actually good liars. It's one thing to be a liar. It's another thing to be a good liar. But I have discernment, and I can tell a good liar out and say, okay, this guy is kind of full of it, but you know what? He's a good liar, and let's see how far he can take it. Maybe he has something and he just needs us to take over something. Also, old people know how to share. What happened to sharing is caring? What happened to, being preschool? And I was blessed that my grandmother owned the preschool, so we really thought we were privileged at one time when we, would be able to go to her preschool. But you still had to share, no matter if your grandmother owned it. Your grandmother would tell you, pick up pennies still, save your money. What if we just listened to that? Hey, don't have kids with, everybody around town because it's going to hurt you in the end. What if we listen to that? Old people have that wisdom. Old people would tell you, hey, we don't want to grow this too fast. And you're being a young person like I was at one point, like, what do you mean growing too fast? And like, well, we don't have enough to replenish the product that we're selling. No matter what you're selling, even, your local drug dealer knows these things of, hey, man, if I sell out too quick, it's going to be a drought season. So when you have a great product that is selling out, you need to then take that money and reinvest it and say, hey, I need more product. So Amazon's not going to bug me and then ban me because I don't have enough product. If I have to do a recall on Amazon, I got enough money to do that. Old people understand these things. Young people seem to have figured all this out before they even can be legally to drink at 21. I don't get it, and I don't want to get it. So I'm not going to deal with a bunch of know-it-alls because we're consultants, and we know some things over here as well. And for the one deal that you're going to do, we see 100 of those deals, sometimes in a quarter or two, sometimes in a year. Just depends on how the market is. During COVID, things are really good. Everybody has an idea. Everybody has business. We want to hook them up with that, what they're missing. And it varies for other people. Also, older people know something about calling back. Calling back. I'm just shooting freestyle off the top of my head, no script, right? If I call you and you text me, or Snapchat me, or Instagram me, or TikTok me, or whatever other platform, and I've called you to talk about business that you've reached out to me, we're not going to have a good relationship if you can't pick up the phone. Oh, but I'd rather text because I'm so busy. No, you aren't busy. You aren't busy. I can show you a busy schedule. Busy people who are truly busy never use that word. I've made videos on it. I'll say it probably till the grave, in 90 years. I'm not busy, and neither are you. You're not busy. You just don't have a good schedule. You just don't have a good system, and it took mentorship that I'm still paying for to this day for a whole different business to learn about that. Because in mentorship, you're going to pay in cash or time. That's the other thing old people get. Hey, nothing for nothing, you need to do something. People, and with this Me Too movement, which it's a great movement that people are getting called out for being creeps, right? And it's not just the women who are abused. Oh, I could tell you some stories. Oh, man. But we're going to save it for a book or a different time, and we're not going to use names. Because, when you see certain things firsthand, that was personal stuff, and you don't need to shame any people. And old people understand that. Older people understand that. Mature people understand that. But also, old people understand, I'm going to call you back. I want to talk to you. I want to feel you. One of the things that used to kind of perturb me sometimes, older people always want to have a meeting in person. And I love in person because I love the touch. But sometimes I got to understand, hey, I got to catch a plane. I know you put me in that young category, but I'm a globe trouter. I got to hit a plane and train. And I have kids now. So, you got to do it within school hours, right? And now it's COVID time. So you got to do it within, these Zoom hours, whatnot. Shout out to Zoom for being the best streaming service that I've used thus far. And I've used quite a few of them. So that's what old people get. Old people get it. And in my mind, old people, you've got to have older people in that wisdom, you just got to, because I feel guilty if you're hooking me up and I can't give anything back. You could take that from the boardroom to the bedroom. Okay, we're going to keep it PG, don't worry. But from the boardroom to the bedroom, everybody should be getting theirs, right? I have these beautiful, beautiful Seek headphones from a former guest on Diversified Game, Mary Spiel. And these are the Seek VR headphones, first 4D headphones. She does not pay me to say that, not yet at least. But because she sent me these headphones, which are the most expensive headphones I've ever had. I've never had Beats, but these are even more expensive than some of your Beats from what I understand. And I've been in studios and I've, felt some great headphones, even prior to Beats, that cost way more than that. But these are the first 4D headphones, Black-owned company, by the way, woman-owned company, by the way. Mary, you got to check out that interview on Diversified Game, whether you listen to it or watch it. Because I sat with old people, I know nothing for nothing. You don't go get a gift like this that makes you sound better, makes you hear better. I can hear the fountain in the back, both of them, whatnot. And, but I can also tune in and jam into my voice. So being around my grandmother, who's still alive, thank God, bless her, just had a family reunion virtually. And it was those words that keep going through every deal, as well as some of the game that, the streets of Oakland, California will get you. The streets of the 925, Concord, California will get you. The streets of the 413, Springfield, Mass will get you. And New York, don't think when I was 15 and took my first trip, 15 or 16 there, and saw how the hustle really is universal, and even Africa and Malta and all the places. But it was the old people I always wanted to tap into because they had the wisdom. They've been down the path that I'm looking to go, even if I'm going with a new product. And we know nothing new is under the sun, it's just remixed. So that's why I like doing business with older people, fine wine, not those young grapes. And again, I might do another video and say some of the things I like about doing business with young people. Because young people, there's definitely some things, but you got to go get that old spirit, that old soul flavor, mix it up in the gumbo. So with unity, we all win. You'll hear me say that. But that is why. So you have been blessed with the game. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe to this game. And, if you need a one-on-one consulting conversation, links in the description box. It's cprfirm.as.me, or for short, you can just put in cprfirm.com, go to the contact page, book a session. We try to make those rates as reasonable as possible, give an overkill of the game. So be blessed, y'all.